The new medical marijuana laws replace a patchwork of local regulations with statewide laws, which will be overseen by the new Bureau of Medical Marijuana Regulation. But California voters could pass a recreational use measure in 2016 before some of these new regulations even take effect. Here with a look at how these changes will impact the marijuana industry in our region is attorney Jessica McElfresh, medical marijuana law, policy, and regulation specialist and member of NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. And Jessica, what do these new medical marijuana laws and Regulation Bureau, what do they actually cover?
Well, they cover virtually every aspect of the medical marijuana industry, including cultivation, including nurseries for small plants or initial plants, transportation, testing, making products such as edibles or topicals or tinctures, and of course storefront dispensaries and potentially delivery services.
And why is that important, to have those little pieces all connected together?
Well, what's important about it is our current model has not made much room for the production or cultivation side of it, and much of the local regulation has been focused on storefront dispensaries. We're acknowledging that this is an industry where an entire aspect of medical products are made for people, and we're regulating it accordingly in a manner more such as Colorado, rather than our current model of not having any statewide regulation or licensing.
San Diego just opened its first legal medical marijuana dispensary earlier this year. How many legal dispensaries are there right now in the city, and how will the change actually affect the dispensary?
At this point in the city, I believe that there are 2 currently open with conditional use permits from the city of San Diego. I believe that the city has approved approximately 10 more conditional use permits, with a couple more to come. How it will affect them is it will not affect them immediately day by day. For the moment, they will continue on in their current fashion. Eventually, these entities will have to receive licenses from the state. We expect the state to begin issuing licenses in 2018. However, they are going to be allowed to continue on during that time. And there's also a provision in this law that any entity permitted by a local government before January 1st, 2018 will likely be permitted to remain open during the licensing process. And that would, of course, include these entities here in San Diego.
Is that how local and state regulators are going to work together, or are there other ways? Will there be state inspectors, local inspectors once these laws go into effect?
We don't entirely know if there will be state inspectors, as in someone coming out from the state. There is a great deal of discussion in these bills of basically locals being able to enforce various state regulations. What's going to happen immediately is the department will be created, and other departments within state government, including the Department of Agriculture, will begin a rulemaking process working out specific regulations starting on January 1st, 2016, when this law goes into effect.
Okay. Now, many of the voters, I should say, I've heard from a few that are anticipating a 2016 ballot measure for recreational marijuana use. How do you think these new laws will influence that effort? And were they kind of made anticipating possibly a ballot measure?
I believe that there was some intention by the legislature to create a statewide system that the recreational could graft onto or expand upon. And I do believe that in the most recent, some of the most recent drafts of the statewide ballot initiatives for recreational marijuana that I've read, that is acknowledged and drawn upon. However, I do believe that there is an intent to focus on medical marijuana by the state legislature, and that this bill was a long time coming and that we didn't have a state system.
So that's talking about the city and the state, but federal laws still prohibit marijuana use. Will these new state laws kind of help keep federal regulators or enforcement away?
We like to hope so. The most recent memo during the Obama administration, the Cole memo, most recent Cole memo, I should say, basically directs various federal prosecutors that it's not a great use of their resources to go after medical marijuana entities that are operating in compliance with state laws. However, that memo also discusses at length having a vigorous system of statewide regulation. We're finally going to be having one.
All right, attorney Jessica McElfresh, thanks so much for the update.
Thank you.